This morning on Today's Woman, true happiness. We all want it, but finding it is the hard part. That's where the new book, The 9 Rooms of Happiness, comes in. It's a way of looking at your life through the metaphor of a house. The book's co-authors are psychiatrist Catherine Berndorf and Lucy Danziger, who is also the editor-in-chief of Self Magazine. Good morning to you both.
Thanks for having us.
Interesting book. Topic is The 9 Rooms of Happiness. How did you come up with that title?
Well, all women are so harsh on themselves. I call it nega-speak. We are our own hardest critics. And I said to Catherine, is this universal? And of course she said yes. She sees it in her practice. It's the little things that really bring us down. So we decided to use the house metaphor as a way of dividing up your problems and helping women really solve those problems.
So every room represents a certain series of problems or set of problems.
A different area of a woman's emotional life.
All right, so let's look at the 9 rooms, beginning with the attic. Explain what the attic symbolizes.
All right, for most people, there are family expectations. They wanted you to go to law school. You didn't want to go to law school. You know, so these expectations are conflicting. In the bedroom, we talk about sex, romance, intimacy, the kind of sex you're having, the kind of sex you wish you were having, and the search for a mate.
The child's room?
Well, whether or not you have kids, the decision to have kids, and of course, the conflicts. Brush your teeth, go to bed, do your homework. All of that that disciplining can be very
So all about parenting.
Exactly.
And then we go to the kitchen.
The kitchen. The kitchen is for emotional nourishment, household chores, who's doing what or who's not helping enough around the house.
What about the living room? What does that symbolize?
The living room symbolizes social life, friendships. Are you upset with your friend? Are you feeling like you disappointed somebody?
And next, the bathroom?
The bathroom. Issues of weight, vanity, health. Am I okay? Am I worrying about cancer?
And then the closest relationships, they are in the family room.
This is your siblings. You might be fighting with a sister. Your brother's driving you crazy. Your mom calls all the time. The nearest and dearest.
Okay, and then the home office is next, actually.
That's career, purpose, work. The pile of bills on your desk.
So it's also the bills, okay.
Yeah.
And finally, the basement. What does that symbolize?
The basement is the largest room in the house. Underlies the entire emotional house. Everybody has one, even if you don't really have one. That represents childhood memories, past memories, things like a teacher who said you'll never amount to anything, that really you keep reacting to in your adult life that keep you down.
So once you know the rooms or areas where you may be unhappy, how do you begin to tidy them up, Lucy?
Well, first of all, you might be in the wrong room. So let's say you're having a fight with a best friend. She's not calling you back.
You think you're going to be in the family room there for that, right? Or the living room.
And in fact, you might be in the living room, but also there might be childhood memories that come to play. We say you deserve to be happy, and sometimes that means knowing your limits, telling a friend you can't help her throw a baby shower, and it's okay to have that conflict. We say to women, know your limits, it's okay.
So once you identify what the problem is, you can figure out what room you're in, right? And then from there, you look at what patterns are repeating, what's happening in that room that keeps you stuck. And we provide then key strategies. We call them key processes.
Can you give me an example of a strategy?
Sure. One of the ones that we like a lot, and I use a lot in my practice, is called the relationship equation. A patient walks into my office and says, my mother is driving me crazy. And I say, look, we can't do anything about your mother. She's your mother, she's going to always be your mother, and she's going to stay the same. But we can help you feel differently, react differently, behave differently. And when we help you, it changes the outcome of the relationship. So if you're A, your mother's B, and the outcome of the relationship is C, changing A changes C. You can't do anything about the other person, but you can change yourself.
You also use circles to help people understand how to be in a happy relationship. How does that work, Lucy?
Okay.
That was something that sort of set the light bulb off for you,
I think it's great to think of the Venn diagram. We say, sorry, all you Jerry Maguire fans, but nobody completes you. You complete yourself, and you come together, two whole people, and we like to say the overlap is the relationship. You have areas outside that are you, and so does your mate, but that overlap is key. And so to make sure that you have the right amount of overlap for you is great. And you don't worry about what other people think. It has to be making yourself happy.
But these rooms are a metaphor. All the rooms can't be tidy at any given point.
No.
Absolutely not. And you don't need them all to be tidy. We give you the tools to close doors, to come back at a time, at a later date when you're ready to deal with what's happening in that room. But just because one room's messy doesn't mean you can't enjoy the rest of your house.
That's the important thing. You always focus on the mess. You could have 8 neat and tidy rooms. We always focus on the
Exactly.
mess. So we say, close the door. We empower you to close the door and come back later. And one of the things that we found at Self is 2/3 of women say they want to be happier. And the good news is you can do it. if you have a set point, that's 50%, 10% might be the circumstances, but once your basic needs are met, you can change 40% of your own happiness. You have that power.
You know, you said, Lucy, that this is not a diet book at all, but you lost 25 pounds while writing this book. How did that happen?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I've learned so much. This book is about teaching other women what we have learned. And one of the things I learned was not to internalize your stress. I would stress eat. A lot of women think about things at the end of the day, and for me, I would do that and eat ice cream or cookies and soothe myself. And I realized rather than internalize these things, I needed strategies to cope and deal with conflict in my life. And Catherine really provides these in the 9 Rooms of Happiness. Each of these strategies has helped me, so I don't think, you know, what should I eat? I think, what's eating me?
So what room were you stuck in if you were doing that?
I think it was a bathroom kitchen thing. I mean, I was not taking care of myself. And so I had to learn how to take better care of myself. And we say in Self, take care of yourself. The airlines have it right. They say, put your oxygen mask on before you help the person next to you. We say to women, we give you permission to take good care of your inner self as well as your outer self.
All right. The book is called The 9 Rooms of Happiness. Lucy Danziger, Catherine Berndorf, thank you both very much.
Thanks for having us.